If I leave that stuff right there, it's gonna distract me. Oh my goodness, honey, what an interesting day I had today, to say the least. Okay. I'm gonna wait until a few of you guys come in. Oh my goodness. Child. Whoo, honey. I put pizza in the oven and I was mopping the floors and my pizza done burnt a little, but this okay. This is the first thing that I ate today. This is burnt. I don't feel like making a sandwich or anything like that. I hope you guys had a phenomenal day. When I tell you these stories, child, mm-mm-mm, mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna just jump in. I don't even know what time. Oh, it's 10:31. I left the house today to go do Dollar Tree hauls, right? I left my house, I want to say it was about 11 something this morning. I got in the house probably around 8 o'clock tonight. Okay. So first off, I had went to the Dollar Tree by my house. Okay. I gotta put a thumbnail on that video, but I just uploaded a Dollar Tree haul. So I caught myself going to the Dollar Tree that's in Maplewood, New Jersey. It's probably about 45 minutes away from me. Okay, if I'm taking public transportation. Maybe a little longer than that. But they had so many roads blocked off because they had like they were celebrating Haiti, right? I guess like Haitians and stuff like that. I think that's how you said. But anyway, so went to Dollar Tree in Maplewood. It was a few items there, but it wasn't like enough new items whereas though for me to do a Dollar Tree haul. So then I went to another Dollar Tree that was like I want to say probably a town over away from the one that I was at in Maplewood. So I got added at Dollar Tree. I think it was like about I think it was like four something. I got added at Dollar Tree. And that's the Dollar Tree that I uploaded tonight. After I got added at Dollar Tree, honey, I got on this bus. Okay. First of all, honey, if you could relate to this, just honey, just say ah. Okay. Or say nothing. I don't care. All right. I'm on the bus, right? Well, actually, before I got on the bus, I realized that I did not put deodorant on. I remember this happened to me when I was in high school. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hey, Miss Harden, PCA. So I'm on the bus, okay, and I gotta hold my arms like this, right? It was so embarrassing. Have to hold my arms like this, okay, honey. Now I'm on this bus. I'm trying to figure out how do I get downtown, Newark, okay, so I could take the train back home. Honey, I was going in the opposite direction from where I needed to go. Got off at this stop. Now, this stop that I got off, I wouldn't mind driving there like in my car, okay? But honey, I was standing outside It's the hood. Okay. It's the hood. And honey, I grew up in the hood, but honey, okay, so I'm standing there and I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope this bus just hurry up and come. Okay. It was this guy who walked past, and I just knew he was gonna say something. He had these shades on, okay, and honey, and he had these shades on, these dark black shades, right? I could see his eyes a little bit. And then he had like the crescent moon on his forehead and the star. And I kind of knew he was, either Nation of Islam or a 5%er. Okay. So he said, how you doing? And at first I was like, you know what, let me just not say anything to him. Okay. And then he went and stopped. So I said, oh, I'm doing good. Like nonchalant. Well, when I said I'm doing good, that gave him the command to turn around and stop and start talking to me. So everything in me was like, girl, be calm. Be calm with this boy, right? So I seen that star in that crescent moon. So I said, "Oh, you a Muslim, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." So we started talking and stuff like that. So he was like, "Could I get your number?" I was like, "No." He was like, "I can't get your number," and I was like, "No." He was like, "I was like, cause my man, my man." Honey, it gets even funnier. All right. So I'm like, my man, I didn't do this, of course. I said, my man, Jay, I can't give you my number. So he said, your man got you standing out here waiting for, honey, if I was in a relationship, honey, I would not be standing waiting for no darn buzz. So he was like, your man. So I was like, he was like, your man ain't gotta know. I looked at him. I said, "Oh, honey, That's not that type of party, honey." And so I was like, I remember what the book said about Brian Tracy because I definitely had two books with me. Okay. And one book I found on the train. I asked the guy, was that his book? He was like, no. And then when he got off the train, the lady who was sitting across from where the guy and his family was, she was like, that was his book. Honey, I cannot make this stuff up. Okay, so I took the book home. I got the book. Okay, I said, God darn it. So the guy, he was standing there, and I remember what Brian Tracy said. He said, if you got people that are like they don't have nothing to talk about or anything like that, just pretty much send them on their way. So I said, all right, have a nice day, right? Hoping he got to him. So then he walked off. Honey, it was a lady, an older lady than me. Okay, honey, I'm young. Get it together, child. It was a lady who probably was like in her probably 60s. Okay. And she was crossing the street, about to cross the street. And it was a guy, like probably like 6'2", that came behind her. Honey, that lady jumped like nobody business. She got scared. And so this guy, he's going off and stuff like that. And he was like, you ain't got to act like that. Honey, I just was saying, you know what, bus, you need to come on. Okay. All right. So the bus finally comes. I get on the bus. It was a guy on there. I thought this guy was probably like in his 30s. Okay. He was just talking. And I noticed people on the bus, they was just looking. So I just, looked at him. And he just was talking, like talking to himself, which, I talk to myself. Okay. I talk to myself and answer myself, honey, call me what you want. All right. So I'm near, honey, never mind the pizza. It burnt. Okay. But I'm going to eat it. Okay. It ain't that burnt. Gosh. I'm there looking at the guy. You don't want to make too much eye contact if you get what I mean, okay? Hey, you know what? Sometimes people, honey, you stare at them long enough, they start thinking you see what they see in themselves. Honey, I ain't got time for that, okay? So it was this older guy. Now I'm almost to my destination, okay? This older guy get on the bus. Honey, this was all she wrote at this point. Older guy gets on the bus. Um, the older guy says real loud, "How everybody doing?" wait, wait, honey, it gets better than that, right? He's loud, asking how everybody doing. I said maybe he had a few drinks, okay? Maybe he had a couple. Man, he gets to the chair, right? To sit down. And remember the guy who I told you he was talking to himself? When that older guy said, "How's everybody doing?" The guy who was talking to himself, he was the only one responded, okay? At first I was gonna respond, but I said, Dina, you just better be quiet. Okay, just be quiet, all right? So the guy who said, how you doing and stuff, talking to the other guy. So now this guy take it upon himself and start talking to this guy, right? And so he says to him, now the guy who was talking to himself, he had like this Muslim garment on, but the it was like a long shirt, but it was tucked in his pants. But when I got on the bus, right, he started taking the shirt like out of his pants and stuff, right? I guess to show like he was Muslim. So the older guy he was 75 years old. Honey, how I know, because he wanted the whole bus to know that he turned 75 today. Okay. So the guy, they hugged probably like 20 times while I was on the bus. Okay. Hugged and gave each other dap and everything like that. Honey, I cannot make this up. Or maybe I'll start doing a story time of public transportation. Okay. Honey, I cannot make this up. So the guy who's 75 years old, he started talking to this, younger dude, right? And he says to him, he said, "Oh, you Muslim, right?" And the younger guy was like, "Yeah." And he was like, he said something. The older guy said something. I was trying to listen. I was trying to listen. So the younger guy said something. So the older guy said, "No, I ain't trying to challenge you. I ain't trying to challenge you." And the younger dude was like, he says something. But the older guy was like, "So you're not on your deen, right?" Deen means like he's not practicing, like I guess like the teachings or whatever of being a Muslim. So the young guy was like, he was like, "I'm all right?" So the older guy, this was the part that did it for me. Listen to what the older guy said to him. He said, so the younger guy started singing, right? Like, the Arabic Muslim songs that they be saying, Al Akbar or whatever it is, right? And so the older guy had said, he was getting happy. And then the younger guy was like, "Yeah, but I've been going through something, right?" And so the older guy was like, "Man, we all go through something." He was like, "Let me tell you what it says in the Quran," right? So he talking to the young guy. And then after he's talking to the young guy said, like I don't know if he said he drink or whatever, but the older guy said, "Man, I drink. That's all right." He said, "Man, I drink. That's all right, man. That's okay." He said, I had me some wine today, right? I don't know if he. I don't know. Okay, more like gin and juice. Okay, so then the older guy looks to the younger dude and say, "I cannot make this up." He says to the younger guy. Now, remember, I told you when I first got on the bus, the younger dude was talking to himself, right? The older guy says to him, now they just was hugging in it and dapping it up. The older guy says to the young dude, "Are you crazy?" I don't know what made him say that because the young dude wasn't talking to himself when they was together. he just kept looking at him. I mean, with a serious face. And he asked him about 4 times. He said, "Are you crazy?" I mean, I could not do nothing. I had to turn my head and laugh. I mean, it caught me off guard. He just kept saying to him, now they done hugged, dapped it up. He kept saying to the young kid, he said, "How old are you?" He started asking this guy all these questions. They done hugged, dapped it up. I'm thinking they cool. So I said, thank God that guy came on the bus, the older guy, okay? Because I don't know. So the guy, the other kid, he was like, "How old are you?" He said, "I'm 28." I thought that guy was probably like in his 30s. He said, "I'm 28 years old." And he said, "Are you in school?" He just started going off, the older guy. He started saying, "Are you in school or are you working?" So the 20, I say kid, right? My son, he'd be like, that is not a kid, right? I mean, because I'm 40, all right. So he said he was like, I graduated. He was telling the older guy like he graduated from high school, right? And he said, "No, are you working or are you in school now?" And so the guy said, "No, I'm not doing nothing right now." And so the 28-year-old said that he had ADHD, right? And so the older guy looked at him and said, this is the part that really, he said, "Oh, you retarded." I just said, what's wrong with this guy? Okay. And so the 28-year-old, he was like, no. He was like that, he started saying like ever since he was young, they gave him medicine and stuff like that. And he said, so the older guy said, "So now you telling me you not on your medication and stuff?" Right? And the young dude, he said, not right now. He said the doctor something. And then the guy said, he said, "So you told that doctor not to give you your medicine?" I'm like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with this guy? But honey, I mean, it caught me off guard because they just was cool. Okay, they just was cool. The 75-year-old guy got on the bus. Okay. I figured he had some gin and juice or something. All right. He gets on the bus and he says, "How everybody doing?" Real loud, right? It was like a Mexican lady that was sitting probably like a row away from me. And I looked at her. Honey, looked like she ain't even want to make eye contact. Okay. All right. I said, oh my goodness, what the hell is the, and they were so cool. The 28-year-old and the 75-year-old, they were so hugging each other. I said, what the, and then he saw asking this kid, this 28-year-old, all these different, I said, oh my goodness, honey, that is how my night went. Okay. I was going since 11 something this morning. Got in the house at 8 o'clock tonight. Okay. When I tell you I am tired, all right? I am tired. I had uploaded the video for Dollar Tree Haul. I'm gonna put the next video up. I said I was gonna do it tonight, honey. I'm not doing it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow because I need to rest. Okay. If you guys want to hear some more story times about public transportation, honey, let me know in the comment section. Okay. Let me know in the comment section. Child, I cannot make this stuff up. Okay. Hey, Audrey, peace to you, baby. Peace to you, peace to you. Hung. It's been man, I tell you, a long day. When I got in the house, I was so thankful, okay, that I got in the house. I just said, oh, thank you, God. Oh my goodness, child. Mm. What a day. Okay, I'll give you some more story time. Ever, real quick. I was on a bus one day, right? I don't know if I told this story on here or if I told it on TikTok. And you gotta excuse me, okay? This is the first thing I eat today. Shoot, I'm okay. It's a little burnt. That's okay. Burnt ain't never hurt nobody. I like some food burnt, like spaghetti. I like it burnt a little crisp. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I was on the bus, right? Getting ready to get out to do a Dollar Tree haul. It was this girl who got on the bus. It was a girl who got on the bus. Who tell? Now, know your worth. Okay? Know your worth. All right? Know that you are more than a biggie bag. Okay? A $5 biggie bag. Okay? I just have to say that. You know? Because what you accept and tolerate, that's what's going to keep on the current in your life. And it's all according to how you see yourself. If you see yourself as no more, I wonder where Tracy at. Okay, normally she'll be up here. If you see yourself as a biggie bag, being good enough for a biggie bag, right? A biggie bag from Wendy's, $5, okay? I'm on the bus, and it was this girl who came on, and she's on the phone with whomever, I guess a dude or something. I believe it was a guy. And she was like, they was talking, and then she goes, are you going to give me, no, because I guess the guy was like, oh, you coming to see me or whatever it is like that. Let me tell you something, okay? When I had my son, my oldest son, Xavier, okay, I was staying at my aunt's house. And I remember one of the things that she said was this. She said, because at this time I started dating my oldest daughter's father. And we had planned on meeting each other, right? To see one another. Now I grew up with him. We're from the same exact place, okay? Neighborhood projects. And the plan was for me to meet with him. And I was going to meet him. And one of the things my aunt said was this. She said, listen, don't you ever go meet the man, okay? When I was a teenager, honey, I was in my 20s. She said, don't you go, or was I 19? Because I had my oldest son, I think when I was 19, 18 to 19. I know I graduated high school already. But she said, don't you go meet no man, right? I didn't know. Okay, I was going to meet him. And she said, no, he's supposed to come and get you, right? Honey. So that put me in the mind of the young lady who was on the bus. So the guy was saying, I guess, like, was she coming to see him? And she said, yeah, I'm on my way. She was like, but are you gonna get my food? Right? And I guess the guy said, like, what is it that you want? And she was like, I want a biggie bag. This is no judgment. This is start knowing your worth. Right. I remember playing second. I remember, accepting a bare minimum, accepting I always say hand-me-downs. Okay. Just tolerating foolishness. Know your worth. You are more than a biggie bag. And I always say, I always say that you are worthy. You are good enough. You are enough. Right. But if you don't feel that way about yourself, no matter what I say or no matter what anyone else say, you just not gonna see it like that. You get what I'm saying? You just gonna see yourself as a $5 biggie bag, or you gonna see yourself as someone who don't deserve much, and that's all because of the self-image. Okay, I am here to tell you, you deserve the best of the best. Okay? You deserve the best of the best. Start looking at yourself and say, you know what? I deserve better than this. I don't give a damn what your elementary teacher, honey, I was just talking about you, Tracy. I said, we're Tracy. Okay? Normally you be on here. Honey, you done missed the story time. Oh gosh. So it doesn't matter what anyone else says, okay? Because somebody can say into they blue in the face, you deserve better, you deserve more. But if you don't believe you are worthy of more, it ain't gonna work, okay? That's why it's called self-esteem, because it's all according to how you see yourself, all right? So with that being said, honey, I got to go. My youngest children coming big in the morning. What time is it? Oh, it's 11 o'clock. My plan was to get up at 5 o'clock. Oh my goodness, honey. I don't know. I gotta see. Whoo, child. Being a content creator, people say, oh, a content creator, they get paid all this money and stuff like that. And they don't really do nothing. Honey, I don't know what. You be a content creator, okay? Now, granted, you only have to do, content probably. I go out mainly I do content every day, okay? Even yesterday, I uploaded, I think it was like 4 videos. I didn't do no Dollar Tree haul, but even yesterday, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm I'm tired. I need the break. Okay. So I'm gonna upload that video, the second Dollar Tree haul tomorrow, and then I don't know if I'm doing any videos tomorrow, okay? Because you know what, my body needs to rest, okay? And in order for me to give you guys the best of the best, I need the rest, okay? All right, can't fill anybody else's cup, honey, if yours ain't filled, okay? Your cup got to be filled and runneth over in order for you to, you know, make some content and stuff like that, okay? You can't be half-assing it, all right? So, with that being said, I catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. And I know, Miss Harden, you said that you want some story time. So I'm gonna start doing the story time edition, okay? With public transportation. Honey, I cannot make this stuff up. Some of the stuff that be going on. Oh my good honey. But that one earlier, it was funny. It was funny at first, but then honey, it just took a turn. I'll see you good folks. Probably not tomorrow. Probably Tuesday. But I'll upload a Dollar Tree haul tomorrow. Peace.